right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us on this Friday as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of as we look to close out another week. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know that we are ready to go and excited. I see the ones coming in. Yep, I see the chat blowing up. Good morning, everybody. And let's make sure that we always start our day with taking massive action, right? Got to have that foundation. Make sure that we're accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing for any outcome. Let's continue to center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading. Let's trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Let's imagine our trades successfully materializing at all times. Let's obey our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And let's make sure that we are never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's go. Let's get out of here. All right. All right. Okay. And we'll come over to trading economics. Jory, what's going on? So let me ask this. For those of you who have started your Darwins, how are we doing so far? Anybody want to share? I know most of you might be in your calibration stage and things like that. How is it going?
I ain't gonna even lie. I'm doing good in my own accounts, but I'm half and half in that, but I'm okay with it.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay with it. All right. Anybody else?
So I am in drawdown,
Okay.
but that is because, well, I mean, it's all fine. I made a decision, and this is the over trading, and I'm new.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing 0.01, so the 10 cents per pip, right?
Okay.
And one day I took an 80-20 trade, and I did TP1 and TP2. So I had two trades and I did 0.02. So I did 20 cents. And
Mm-hmm.
even though I drew it up right, that trade just tanked. I just blew up. And so I said, oh, that happened really fast. And so I'm in a bit of a drawdown. However, and it doesn't feel good. But it's really interesting to see to see my equity curve, right? To see what that looks like on the Darwin. I've got a couple of
Mm-hmm.
trades that I'm doing well in. So that's good. So it's just going to take me a little while to get up there. But what I really appreciate is it's different than demo. I feel like it's different than
Yes.
and that's what I like. Because to me, even though I'm in calibration stage, I feel like there's more at stake. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so like I said, I know that I'm good, it's getting better, so I'm not stressing out too much about it. But I really like the fact that even though it's calibration, it feels much more real.
Great. I appreciate you sharing that. It's definitely real. It makes you really think before you take those trades. So for sure. For sure. I really appreciate you sharing. It's just the emotions of it all, right? And the ebbs and the flows. I just finished my calibration stage. I finished at like one point, I think it was like 1.15% is where I finished. I was at like 1.5. But I did find I was asking because I did find myself trading a little bit differently. Like I was closing out, like I closed out some trades really prematurely. Because I was just trying like let me just get through the calibration stage, right? So if you're doing that, like try not to do it because I should be up a whole lot more and then it actually cost me because I cut some trades short in profit that had I just let them run and not focus on the fact that I'm in this calibration stage and it's almost to 100%, you know, that letting those trades run longer that were in profit would have really saved me in regards to some of the trades that I lost, you know. So I see JC 1.03%, drop some sevens in the chat. That's good, right? That's good. Okay. Right.
You know
Lanique
what?
said not.
I have
Mhm.
not checked the calibration side. I haven't went to the website. I need to
To
go
the
look.
website. Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Congratulations, JC.
Yeah, good job. Good job. Good job. That's really good, right? Considering, you know, when we take a realistic approach um to trading, right? Like the one of the founders said in one of the interviews that I was listening to, and he said one guy asked him like, well, what do you think about, you know, all these traders online that saying they're getting these high returns? And he was like, I know it's not happening because we've had thousands upon thousands of traders and nobody's done it. You know, the average is consistently, right? Is you're looking at 1 to 2% per month. And when you have the opportunity to have access to good amounts of capital, that 1 to 2% adds up. So are you going to have months where you're higher than that? Of course you are, right? Of course you are. But if you could just get consistent at that 1 to 2% a month, then build upon that, right? So yesterday we were talking about, you know, hey, if I could constantly put myself, you know, in those high 2 to 1s, 3 to 1s, and beyond that, and be patient, which means most likely going to trade less, waiting on those setups, right? So maybe I'm in 3 to 1s. I'm finding myself in that consistently. My patience is there, and say I'm only converting at 30%. Well, now down the road, when that 30% goes to 50%, 60% on your conversion, but you're still finding those 3 to 1s, those high 2 to 1s, right? Now everything's it kind of 10x's itself. So great job on that. So my calibration stage ended, and that's the silver, right? If I'm not mistaken, Ryan, right? Silver should start next week. Should
Yes,
start
sir.
next week. Yeah, yeah. So Joyce says she's negative. That's all right, right? It's about that journey. You know, it's about that journey. But I think it is an awesome opportunity. It is a great exercise, you know, in patience and making sure that you're following your trade plan, your trade rules. Because one of the things that you will see, um, and that I actually spotted as a result of trying to get through the calibration stage and cutting trades short, that it actually led to some over trading, right? I was up 1.5, right? It might have been a little bit higher than that at one point, right? But then I end up coming down uh because of that, you know, because of the overexposure to the market. So it's a really good opportunity. It's a great experience. So definitely, if you're not involved, then I definitely urge you to really get involved. Take a shot at it, right? So appreciate everybody sharing, you know, and giving updates on that. Case it's been a great learning experience. Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, bro. How about yourself?
Man, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Can't complain at all. Happy to be here as always, man. So I started with you, like in regards to I see Japan inflation slows further. I don't know if you had time to check on anything regarding the BOJ or anything over in Japan, but any type of update?
So yeah, the inflation cooled a little bit. The BOJ is waiting on the wage growth, the wage increases to kick in, which should be starting to trickle in between the end of this month and next month. So they're not surprised by that dip. So that's where they are. They're still in the background, still gaining some traction regarding potential changes coming next month, though. Either be it from a bond purchase perspective, then leading to a July rate increase, or even there's some betting on a June increase. So some of that is still gaining traction in the background.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. The other thing that I read too, there's two other things. One is member from ECB kind of reiterated the likelihood of a June cut gaining traction. But like you were talking about yesterday, it's definitely uncertain after that on where they go. So that was an interesting read there. And then commercial real estate. So there are, they do those those investment packages where they put AA, AAA mortgages into groups and they sell them as investment opportunities. There are some investors that out of New York that received less than their initial investment back in a AAA commercial mortgage investment. And so the conversation is starting to creep back in about the issues in the commercial real estate market and how this could be the beginning of the large impact of higher interest for longer, and these organizations not being able to actually manage these mortgages on, or these loans on these commercial buildings that they purchased in 2020, 2021, and in early 2022. So we're starting to see some of that impact. And with that, you're also starting to see some organizations pushing for things like 5 days a week in the office. You have Citibank, HSBC, and Barclays demanding their team members to come back in the office for 5 days instead of having a hybrid role. So you could also start to see that picking up in other areas with other companies as well, because they're trying to get people back in these buildings to justify the use of them, but also be able to take advantage of some additional tax breaks, and potentially get more renters into the buildings, kind of spurring other people to say, okay, we need everybody back in the building, to then have these leases being paid by having multiple people renting space in these large facilities. So starting to see some of that stuff trickle in. And I think it's the beginning of a larger situation that we'll start to see pick up over the next 3 to 6 months.
Oh man, 5 days a week back in the office. Talk to me when the gas prices go down.
And that's that's going to be the interesting thing, bro, is how people respond to that, because I don't think gas prices are going to go down.
No, they might as well turn those buildings into housing.
It's going to get interesting, bro. And there's money out there to do that too, but I don't know if developers are taking advantage of that money like the government wants them to. There's tons of money out there for it because the government's really pushing that.
All right.
But there's tons of money still out there, and the government's been pushing it for almost a year now. So I don't think developers are taking hold of that because of the issues they may have either selling them or even completing the development. So yeah, it's an interesting situation.
5 days a week. Well, maybe they'll increase those wages for once. We shall see.
We shall
We shall
see.
see. Yep. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right. So UK retail sales fall much more than expected. Retail sales in the UK declined 2.3% month over month in April, following a downwardly revised 0.2% fall in March, and much worse than forecast of a 0.4% drop. It's the biggest decrease so far this year, mainly due to poor weather and low footfall. So yeah, I don't know if the market reacted too much to it today though. We'll have to take a look at it. I guess maybe because of what they feel is what caused it. So we'll see. With the UK, Japan, what we're talking about, inflation slows further. So right, I would say, like, I guess the BOJ is they're doing what they need to do. Right, they're not letting all the rhetoric and things and what people expect, kind of guide them into what their decisions should be. It seems like, I know they like to let the free market do its thing, and it seems like it's kind of working.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
They've always been good at that though, right? Just sitting tight and not jumping the gun. It's been super interesting to watch that unfold. But they're doing a a good job of sticking to their guns.
yeah, and for sure. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that situation. Talking about the DXY, the dollar index firmed up around 105 on Friday and was set for a weekly gain. It's stronger than expected. U.S. economic data reduced bets for the Fed interest rate cuts this year, right? Oh, we'll see. I think that number, that the probabilities are going to continue to decline on the probability of rate hikes. So S&P data showed that U.S. businesses activity accelerated to an over 2-year high in May, while the latest weekly jobless claims fell more than expected. The latest FOMC minutes also show policymakers are concerned over stubborn inflation, and some members indicated willingness to tighten policy further if inflation surged. Markets are now pricing in just one rate cut this year and pushed out the timing for the first rate reduction to December. We came into the year, everybody, with the market expecting 6 rate cuts. I'm just going to let that sit there. Right? Now we're talking about 1, and they've moved it from September and November to now December. So 1 possible rate cut at the end of the year. So that's that on the dollar. So let's jump into it, right? Take a quick look at the DXY, and it is turning over, right? Again. Okay. So we've been making these higher highs and higher lows. This is our 1 hour, and we're starting the day off at that 105 mark. Coming down, right? So we should be getting some movement on things like the Aussie dollar to the upside. Right? See if we're getting that. Yeah, so just creeping up this morning, right, to the upside. I wanted to check in on that one because that's what I've been keeping an eye on. It's just been a little bit all over the place, but you're gonna see we're getting an uptick in that Aussie dollar, right? So, but what I want to do is move down, and I want to take a look at some of these dollar-led crosses, and then move into, because we said yesterday we're going to take a look at some of those New Zealand pairs. So we'll take a look at this dollar CAD. All right, we were taking a look at this on Saturday, and you can see we've got this reversal on the 4. Right, so this has been a beautiful move off that 50% right at the edge of the buy zone, right up against that daily support at 135.89. We got a reaction, right? So now on this 4 hour, we are overbought and we are correcting now, right? So we saw the DXY moving to the downside, and now we see this correction occurring here now, okay? So on this upward swing, again, this pair has been a little bit all over the place, right? But you can see how we close in close to that D extension on the 1. So we'll see how far this wants to correct. So if I add let me go ahead and add this 15-minute chart. You've been sitting long, K. Drop the sevens. You were on it, right? Good job.
Great work.
Sitting on that UCAT. That was beautiful. It hit the sweet spot, right? So the dollar's bouncing all over the place, but that's the right move for now, right? And now we're in the correction phase. The dollar's a little weird, but I know the market's shrugging things off now, but when we keep moving the timing of one rate cut further and further down the line, from now we went from 6 to 1 cut September, November to now December. I have to believe that dollar's going to find some support somewhere, right, and then continue on its upwards trend. That's just how I feel right now. But we'll see. We shall see. So we've got this correction coming. If I come and put in this, I'll put in a 15-minute chart. Great job, Kay. Let me go to this USD CAD. USD 15. This. And we can zoom out. And we can see how this move is shaping up here. Where's the low? Hard to see. Had to be this one. And so you're pretty much getting the same thing on the 15. So they just act. So I'm trying to see how. See if we can figure out how to catch this correction. There it is right there. All right. So that's showing up as an 80-20 on the 5. So keep an eye on this, because I wonder once we get down into this buy zone if this is going to hold up and find some support. And then maybe you want to make a U-turn. But we'll see. We'll see. Right now, that dollar is starting off bearish pre-market. So this is a clean 80-20 on the 5. Isn't that amazing? Right? It's turning over on the 5, coming out of the 80-20 zone. I wonder if we get a decent low price and if price finds support in that area. So continue to keep an eye on the dollar CAD. But we have been bullish. Right? We have been bullish. But you can see how right, how we kind of went between these levels here. Right? So the question becomes, do we correct and then continue to move up at least to that 137.61 level where we saw the reaction back to the downside before? All right, so that's the dollar CAD right now. Bullish. Awesome job, right? If you're in that to the upside off that 4-hour move, just looking pretty good right now. But we'll see. That's that 137.61. We got some levels that we have to break through, but so far, so good off of that support. It's up a little over 150 pips now. We've come back down 124, 125. All right. Any questions on the dollar CAD?
No.
No, sir.
All right. Dollar Swissy. Right. So again, everything's been pretty much long, right? Climbing that ladder. We're back above that 91.10 level. We are definitely overbought on the daily, right? Coming down to the 4. See what we've got going on. It's been a bit all over the place, right? All over the place. It took back off that 236 level. We'll see if it wants to make its way back down. We're overbought on a daily time frame. So we'll see if price wants to form a swing high on that daily and continue to come down. But this has just been doing the dance, kind of moving sideways. It's been a mess, right? So it'll be interesting. We've got stochastics misaligned. We've got the sideways movements, choppy. But I would love to buy, right? I just need you to come on down here, right? Finish this 80-20 out, and then we can look to get long. Here we are on the 1 hour, right? We still, if we wanted to buy that at some point, we still want to see a lower price, right? So besides that 80-20 play on the 4, we need a that you may be involved in. We need a lower price. So still looking for that to move down a bit, so we can make some decisions. Okay. If you're holding that 80-20 on the 4, right, it's a bit of a nasty one, getting whipsawed everywhere. But let's see if we can get it to move where we need it to. Any questions on the dollar Swiss?
No.
Dollar can be tough to trade at times, I tell you that. A lot of people say that like a lot of other currencies are, but I don't know, that dollar, man. It can drive you crazy. Dollar yen, right? It's doing all types of stuff back and forth, but ultimately, right, we checked in here at the low off of 153.57, and now we're back above 156.72. So we had to say at some point we're just gonna maybe continue long. We're in this zone here, right? So I guess right, if we get back below, let me take this out because this is just a mess, right? So what I'm gonna say is that we're moving bullish, right? As is just about everything against it again. But we're in this peculiar situation here to where if we get back below this 156.76 level, we may see a correction of some sorts on this. So if we come to the 1, okay, we're right up against, this is a 1 hour level at 157.17. We're right around that 118 zone. So it's all messed up, right? But it's trying to break this trend line. So what I'd like to see based on this 1 hour to get below this level and come deeper into the buy zone, yes, right? I would want to see, right, the long wicks. I know there's a fight going on. That dollar is just like we saw the DXY is turning over. Our 1 hour stochastic is back in the buy zone. What we want to do is we want to see this price move down. We want to see that move down, and then we can get a clear picture from there. Okay. So we came into this zone, formed a 1 hour resistance. It's holding that, right? So just based on the price action, it's looking like it wants, and what the DXY is doing this morning, it's looking like it wants to turn over. Right. So keep an eye on that. Right? I'm not going to short it, right? But if I could get back to a low price, I will look to buy against the yen. Right. Still favoring longs against the yen right now, but I need a lower price on that UJ. Okay, so I'm gonna lay off of this one here. All right, I'm gonna lay off of this one here because I don't have my 1 hour stochastic. Look at where it's sitting. Right. So we've got some misalignment. But I will entertain, right, once we get back into the buy zone. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting I mean we're getting that sideways push, but I've got that misalignment. If it moves down, right, with my stochastic in a position, that's fine. I'll just wait. I just rather wait for a low price on that. Tough one to trade. Not the easiest one to trade right now. All right. So that's the dollar yen. Let's take a look at this Euro USD. See if we can make sense of it all. Right. So I've started to look at some things here, right? So this is finding support again. Maybe this wants to push to 109. I don't know. It's tricky, right? Dollar's moving down this morning, but we did get a decent reaction off this 108 level, right? What is that? 108.83 in that zone. And so we've got a stochastic moving to the downside. So this just really just reflects the DXY in reverse, right? It's just dollars moving down right now. This is moving up to start the day. It may want to move higher, right? It may want to move higher or come back and test it. Look at our 4-hour stochastic, right? So this may move to push back up into that zone. I'm not doing anything with it yet because I can't quite figure out what the dollar wants to do. Right? I can't figure it out. So I want to wait because something's telling me that it wants to move higher to around 109, maybe. And then we may see a reaction, but right now I can't call it. That looks like it's trying to find support. Past resistance becoming future support. That's what that looks like. Oh. I thought you had something to say. Okay. All right. So that's where we are there. I'm not I don't know, Ryan, what do you think on this one?
It's so back and forth, but I'm still looking. I'm trying to see, do we push a little bit higher back to those daily resistance levels, maybe above the 78686 range? And my bias is still to the downside. It's just a matter of when we get that turnover. We got a nice break and retest there and pushing back up. So like I said, looking to see if price gets that 78686 range before turning back over and then getting short.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm being patient on this. That's why I keep thinking like around the 109.
Yep.
Is that around 109 and then rate cuts, right? For the ECB in June.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Yep.
If they come through with that cut, we know they've changed the forward guidance beyond that, saying, hey, we don't know. But the market was projecting multiple rate cuts for them too. But if they seem to be holding pretty steady on this June rate cut. So I'm thinking kind of let things ride until then because the euro hasn't been weak, right? So maybe let things push to a high price and then see the market reaction with that rate cut in June. And that's what I'm thinking on this one. So I'm gonna lay off of it. Are there some lower time frame opportunities if you trade lower time frames with all the back and forth that's going on? Yes. Right. Like for example, like this move up today, you probably could catch a move to the upside on the lower time frames, right? So like here on this 5, because I was looking at that off of that trend line break. Look at that move on the 5-minute. This is what I mean by that, right? So you can see this pullback and then that move up. That came through that level. So if you trade the lower time frames, yes, there are plays that can be made, based on your trade plan if you trade on those lower charts, day trading and things like that. But as far as the larger overall move, I think we'll see a larger reaction come June with those cuts. So I'm with you on that. I think a continued move higher, and then it'll break down. Jeremy said prices above the 200 moving average, so I'm long on this one. It makes sense. It makes sense for sure. That's definitely a great move that happened. Looks like overnight here. I was working on some things off the 5, and that actually played out. What I like about Darwin is that I'm able to be more patient with my trades, holding them for sure. And I saw that you had noted before too how you don't lose your account because you're in drawdown, because we know drawdowns occur. So great points on that. Great points. Definitely allows you to be patient. It's definitely a game changer, especially when compared to the other prop firms and what their rules, well, I'm gonna say past tense, were with a lot of them before they tanked. But that's one of the reasons why too. Okay. So I like it. I like the fact that it's 15%. I know some people don't like that, but that ensures stability. Because if your payouts are 80%, 90%, 100%, that means that eventually you have to have a pool of traders that are actually consistently profitable to start making that prop firm money from trading, not just from purchasing, accounts. Right. That's where a lot of them are starting to see the revenue challenges. At some point, traders actually have to develop into consistently profitable traders. As else paying 80%, 90% is not sustainable. It's not a sustainable model. So the ones that do have traders that are actually becoming consistently profitable, that they're putting in, platforms to really try to help their traders, those are the ones that you're going to see stay around that can maintain that level, of commission being paid. But for 95% of them, it's not a sustainable model. Yeah, yeah, and some people are cool with it. Some people are just, I'm going to just, hey, I'll get my money while I can. If they shut down, they shut down. It is what it is. Well, it just depends on your approach to the market. The fivers, they have always had a model that favored swing traders from the beginning. So some of their rules and things, the way they were drawn out, that's why they've been able to last as long as they have been, is because of that. So they're a little bit different, but I definitely like Darwin X the most by far on that. So that's the Euro USD. Pound dollar. So we know for the most part we've been moving long as of late, right? This 127.12 level, right? We've got some struggles. We've started to push sideways, and we are definitely overbought on the daily. And so if we come into looking at our 4 hour, right? We can see that we're still range bound, but we were correct in saying, like, hey, we're moving back to the top of this range. Now we need price to break out if we're going to continue bullish, right? So it's slowly like creeping its way. 4 hour stochastic is in the buy zone, right? So we may, create a low here and at least get back to that 128 level. Then maybe we'll see another correction as it's making a C to D push. Here we are on the 1 hour. Okay. We didn't get here, right? So we didn't really get, we kind of got the swing there. But here we are on this new one right at the edge of the buy zone there. So that's a good play. So what we're looking for, right, is when we've got this nice impulse leg here this morning, is this just going to give us a pullback to give us an opportunity to continue that long? So when you see this here and the trade's already taken off out of your zone, that's all right. We just want to see, we don't want to just buy here at the top of this move. We want to see if we can get a correction and a move down, right? So once this high forms, like so, and you can move down to your lower time frame to do it. Okay. but we want to see if we get a swing high to form there and we get a correction that'll give us a discounted price. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Right, so we want to see if we move back down, if we form a swing low in that area, and then if we get some good confirmation to get back long. Okay, to get back long on that. So that is the pound dollar. Any questions on that?
No.
sir.
All right. So just be patient, right? Sometimes we get excited and we end up buying at the top. Right. Now, if your risk management is good and your patience is good, a lot of times you can hold on to those trades and just say, I got my direction right, but I just didn't get an optimal entry. Right. And you can hold that trade. But if you just be patient, right? Wait on those. Once it's taken off out of the zone, wait on those additional confirmations because we know, right? This is a retracement right now, right? Retracement zone, and now we've U-turned, but we want to make sure, if possible, that we're not getting ready to turn over and make one more drive down in the zone, right? So if you're looking for a pullback off of this, make sure that you use your additional confirmations and that don't just fly into the position, because then if we make one more drive down, right? If you got your stop below that C, you're gonna get stopped out. Right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens on that correction and that pullback. Be patient. No need in rushing into the market. Okay. No need to do that. Okay. And of course, if your zone is 61.8786, you're not ready to take that trade anyway. Right. So depends on what your trading plan is. If you trade at those levels, you wanted to turn over one more time anyway. We'll see what happens on the pound dollar. Be patient either way. No matter what your approach, just continue to be patient. This NZD CAD, right? Because we said we're gonna cover these NZD pairs. So if you look across the board, the Canadian dollar is taking a beating, right? So the good thing about doing your weekly ritual every week, and going through all your chart pairs, you can see, what's what. And right now, that Canadian dollar has been showing weakness, and all your other major currencies have pretty much been putting in rallies against it. Okay, so we're bullish on the NZD CAD. We know the NZD, the New Zealand dollar itself has been bullish, right? And so you can see here that the bulls are definitely in control on this fork because we didn't even get a correction. We didn't get a deep correction on this one either. So this is just a consolidation and a breakout, right? That's a tightly wound consolidation and a breakout, a monster, right, to the upside. Okay, so this may just continue on, right, to an extension. You never know. If we get that correction, right, we somehow are able to get that correction, then right, we can look to get long on that. Okay. Any questions on the NZD CAD?
No.
All right. NZD Swiss. So just continuing to push long, right, to climb that staircase that we talk about. Okay. Continuing to move long. Okay. Breaking above another level. Okay. Moving above. Okay. So if we put that in there, right, outward climbing, see how it's broken that one? Now we've got this next one coming up at 56.75, right? From a weekly time frame. We're looking left, and we see it's just climbing the levels. Okay. Moving long. The extension running, look at that. It's moved way past it. Just keeps moving up and up and up and up and up. Okay. So we come down here to our 4. So you see how we had our ABCD wave? Okay. A, B, C, deepest point within our AB boundary, and our D. That's why our next high formed. Now we've got a new AB boundary. Here we are up here in this 118, 127 zone. Okay. There. Stochastic right now is in the buy zone. We need to wait. See if this wants to push sideways, or if we're going to continue to break. Right? Use your confirmations. That's a technical 80-20 there. We need some alignment. Okay. We need not alignment, but some additional confirmation on that. Our daily stochastic is in the sell zone. So let's be patient at these levels, everybody. It could be a big one, but let's be patient. Let's be patient and see if that eventually wants to turn over. All right. Wait, see if we get that sideways push and a breakdown. Okay. If you're waiting to just buy it, we need that to happen anyway, right? So we're going to move on and look for other pairs until we get that low price if we're just looking to go with the trend. Questions on the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc? No. All right, note that one down. We wanna see how that plays out over the next week. Okay. All right. NZD-JPY. Just long, right? It's taking back that entire correction. Okay. So that 95.37 level, it blazed right through it. It's amazing. Right, here we are on the 4. It's long. So we're looking for opportunities to continue to move long against this. We saw inflation slowing, right? In Japan, this here is beautiful, right? So here, again, when you got a currency running pretty strong, you don't get deep corrections all the time, right? So continue to be patient. We didn't get a deep correction here. Maybe we get that alternating correction where we get it to move deeper, okay? So I'm still, right? If we turn over off that beat boundary, I want low prices to get long. Low prices to get long. Okay. So nothing yet off that 4. Any questions on the NZD-JPY? Be patient. The setups are coming. Okay? I like when I see new AB boundaries forming. The market's starting to reset itself. All right. NZD-USD. Let's see what kind of action we're getting today. And just stalling, but you can see, look, how, okay. Look at how this has found past resistance becoming future support at this level. If we're still, right? If we're still sitting around these levels like this, when that stochastic hits the buy zone, we look for this to continue to move long. You can see it's slowly creeping its way down. Right. So if we stay above this level, we get that stochastic in the buy zone, I'm gonna look, for us to continue to push higher on this, right? You can see these wicks and how it got rejected. You may want to go revisit that one more time, right? And then push to the 61.79 level. But everybody see how clear that is across the, look at this. Right? So we may right? Just continue to move higher. Our 4-hour stochastic is already, right, moving into that buy zone. Okay, and you can see how we're moving sideways. Okay, so we may not get that deep correction. We may want to take off that level. Okay. It's trying to figure itself out. That's pretty ugly there. All right, that's the NZD USD. I want to take a look at the S&P 500. NVIDIA, right? We marked it up a long time ago, everybody. NVIDIA came out with pretty strong earnings again, and it is now over $1,000 a share, which is what we projected. I think it hit 1,042 or something like that. For NVIDIA, right? They are a part of everything now. So here we are, S&P 500. We are overbought. Right, so we may start to see price correct. I don't think we're gonna get anything catastrophic. So we may just be focusing on this leg here. We may get a correction, something like this, potentially. Right, and then a move back up. Okay. I think at this point, something drastic would have to happen for this price to turn all the way over. Okay, never say never, but I'm gonna focus on this last impulse leg to the upside. Okay. And so you can see how we're starting to move and turn over off this leg. So maybe if we can get one more drive down, right, around this area, and then maybe it'll be time to get long. So we'll continue to watch the fundamentals on that, watch the sentiment. Okay. So that's where we are. You can see here on the 1 hour, right? We came out of that zone. Look at that. So again, can we move deeper? I like low prices. I like discounts. That's just me. Some people trade off the higher fib levels. I'd love for price to move lower if we can get it. Okay. So that's where we are on the S&P. We got a bit of a correction going on right now. Any questions on the S&P?
No.
All right. Any questions over anything that we covered on this, what is a beautiful Friday? No, no. Ryan, anything before we close out, sir?
Good people, have a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Holiday weekend, right, for us here in the United States.
Yep.
So yeah, so if you cook it out with the family and all of that good stuff, enjoy it, right? We know life is short. So that's why we always say, right? Don't just count your pips, but indeed count your blessings. Have a great Friday, everybody. We'll be here Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Forex Weekly Ritual. Bye for now. Oh, Joy said it's my anniversary today. Drop some
Happy
sevens.
anniversary.
Anniversary. Right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
22, 28.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Thank
If I
you.
had time, I'll put the Tony on for you. I'm sure you'll be playing that all weekend.
I switched
What a
it up
way.
this year. We
Oh, yeah.
got the Jay-Z and Beyonce going on.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wait, you just JC and Beyonce your way through the weekend. Happy anniversary. That's so good to hear, right? Wish you many, 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 many more. Have a good Friday, everybody. What a way to close this session. Thanks for sharing that. Bye for now.